So, I'm so glad to be here with you all today, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for using your precious time to come and learn something that would enable you to support your kids during that time of distance learning. We truly appreciate it because, as a parent myself, I know what it takes for you to spend half an hour or an hour learning something so that you would go back and deliver the same message to your children. So, thank you so much for that. Today, I prepared a presentation that might include things that you already know and things that you might leave the session with those takeaways that would enable you to support your kids. I've listened to some of your questions that you've asked via email. You've asked for things that can help you support your kids during that distance learning period that we have and during virtual lessons as well. So I've just taken all of those questions, tried to answer them and break them down into slides, okay, and provide you with the information that you might find helpful as well. So the first thing that I would like to mention, which I believe is the most important thing, is when we join the Meet session with any of the teachers, whether your child is an early year child like KG or reception, or if your child is a primary student as well. So the most important thing is that they use their own email, the email ending with our domain, which is kes.edu.kw. Because if they used external emails or their personal ones or even your emails, they will not be able to join the session. When it comes to early years, they might be able to join the session using your own email, but I believe that the head teacher of early years has already sent an email asking parents to join using their children's email. And that just adds an extra layer of security. We might fear that the link might be shared with external users and then they might join the session and cause a sort of an interruption. Okay, so we just make sure that we join the session all the time using the domain kes.edu.kw. That is really important. Today we're going to be talking about different things. We're going to be starting with how to join a Meet call and some tips that would help you as a parent support your kid by minimizing any sort of interruption during the class. I will help you know how to do that. We will be talking about the daily assignments and how you would be able to check your child's assignments on Seesaw or even Google Classroom, which are the two LMS that we use at Quaid English School. We're going to be talking about how your kids can edit assignments on Kami, any other platform, and how the Chromebook would enable them to even edit their PDFs. We will be talking about our creation studio, all the tools in the Chromebook that can help them brainstorm ideas or even screencast if they would like to deliver a certain message to their teachers using video. And the last thing we're going to be talking about is something that we've been asked more than once: what kind of platforms I can use as a parent to support my kid, assess his understanding when it comes to any concept or any topic that the teacher has already covered, what kind of platforms I can use later on to help my kid learn independently or even have more practice. So these are all the topics that we're going to be covering today. I will start with Google Meet because this is the start, right? This is the platform that all the students use so that they can join their virtual sessions. So when they join the session, and I believe that you would definitely hear, because we are always around when our kids join those sessions, we hear the teacher saying why are you laughing? Why are you smiling? And then one of them would say because someone is making some silly faces, right? We as parents, we hear this all the time. And as teachers, this might get somehow frustrating. And then the teacher might say, okay, switch off your camera or please stay focused. Okay. And we want the teacher to continue just focusing on their own lessons without any sort of distraction, right? And they want the kids to stay focused all the time as well. I'll just leave my presentation and I'm going to be demonstrating. I usually demonstrate using the tools themselves, okay, not the presentation. So let me just stop presenting. And I'm going to be sharing my entire screen so that I can show you when your kids join their Google Meet session, what you can help them with when it comes to staying focused. You don't want them to be able to see the other tiles that belong to the other students in class. You want them to just see the teacher and the shared screen, right? So I will be sharing my entire screen right now and show you how you can help them do that. So now I'm sharing my entire screen. If your kids are joining Google Meet, this is exactly what you're going to be seeing here. Okay, these are all the tools that enable them to switch on their microphone, their video, okay, sharing screen, which is disabled for students, or sometimes enabled if the teachers would like them to display something, for example, like they have a certain project that they would like to present, they can use this as well to share their screens. Sometimes reactions are disabled when students overuse them, okay, or misuse them. And here you have the hand feature. When they would like to raise their hands, they can use this one. What I'm about to share with you right now is how to enable students just have the teacher's tile there along with the shared screen. You're going to help them by making them click on the three-dot menu here. And then you're going to find an option that is called Adjust View. Students can go here and then they're going to find different layouts. So the one that is going to minimize all of those distractions and just help them stay focused is the spotlight one. So once they choose this one, I want you to take a look at what is happening in here. The student cannot see anyone on the screen anymore. They can just see their own camera and the teacher's shared screen. None of the other tiles are shown. So that is something that you as parents, you can help your kids do in case you found that someone is laughing while the teacher is like explaining something, and then you hear that it is happening because of someone making silly faces. For you to help your kids stay focused, you can just follow this three-dot menu, adjust view, and then you would choose the spotlight. If you felt that my pace is somehow like fast, okay, you cannot like follow along. I'm just reminding you that this is a recorded session that will be shared with you after we end the meeting. That is the first thing that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to get back to my presentation. If you have any questions, we're going to listen to your questions by the end of the session. Okay, so we just want to assure you that we're going to have all of your questions answered. Okay, so this is all about the spotlight and how to remove all the distractions from the students' virtual meeting or Google Meet so that they stay focused with the teacher. Next, I'm going to be talking about the two primary work hubs when it comes to Seesaw and when it comes to Google Classroom, and where, as a parent, you would know where the teacher posts all the assignments. Because I received this question more than once, and like in most of the emails from parents, I would like to see the assignments. I want to see them myself. I want to be able to access Google Classroom. I want to be able to access Seesaw. How am I able to do that? Okay, so before we talk about this, I would like to take you over to Seesaw first for the parents joining us from early years, okay, or who have kids in KG or reception. So I'm going to go here. I'm opening Seesaw using my browser. So regardless of the device, if you're opening Seesaw using your iPad, using an Android tablet, using even like a Chromebook or any other laptop, okay, using the browser itself. So the interface is going to be quite similar. Not the same, but similar. So what you have to do first is you have to click on the login button here, and then it will take you over to this page. It is loading right now. Okay, just a few seconds. Okay, it just like got me in right away. Let me just sign out so that I can show you from the beginning. So this is exactly how it would look like if you're opening it from a browser, from an iPad, and so on. So first of all, we're not using Seesaw Family because I get questions from some parents saying, I'm using my own personal email address to access Seesaw, but it is asking me for a joining code. We're not using Seesaw Family. So for you to be able to access Seesaw, you would need your child's email address. And for you to be able to sign in, so these are the steps. First of all, you're going to click on I'm a student. So you're not going to use I'm a family member. We're not using this anymore. And then what most of the parents do, they enter their own email addresses or even their child's email addresses using the email and password section. We do not use this section at all. And the reason is we use Google accounts. All of your kids' accounts are Google accounts. So you have to scroll down and you have to click here on that G button so that you would be using Google's SSO. We call it single sign-on. Okay, so as we said, you're not going to be using that section at all. You're going to be using the G button here. Once you click on it, you're going to be directed to a page that is going to ask you to enter your child's email address and password. If you're not quite sure of your child's email address and password, ask the class teacher. Okay, so let me just take that email. That is one that I created. It is a demo account. Your child's email should start with 5 digits, like 5 numbers, and then at kes.edu.kw. If you're not sure of the password, as I said, you can ask the class teacher or you can email me, and I'm going to be showing you my email by the end of that presentation so that you can ask about the password. If you tried the password shared by the teacher and it is still not working, I can reset it for you. So just make sure that you email me. Okay, so I'm going to be clicking on that one, which is the demo account that I created, which is supposed to be your child's account. And then you're going to be entering the password, and this is exactly what you're going to be seeing. You're going to see on the side here all of the classes that your kid has joined or was added to by the teacher. And here you're going to see like 3 tabs: journal, activities, and notifications. The one that you as a parent need to be like focused on, and the one that you need to be checking regularly, is the activities one. This is where the teachers post everything that has to do with assignments. And as you can see here, of course, when your kid is done like submitting any of the assignments or handing it in, you're going to be seeing it here under done. If the kid started working on it but saved it as a draft or did not like submit it, you will find it here under in progress. Okay, so I want to show you what the kid can do when it comes to Seesaw's assignments. So I'm going to go for that assignment and I'm going to hit the start button. So I can like hear someone raising their hands because I cannot see the Meet session right now because I'm sharing my screen. We'll get back to you by the end of that session and listen to all of your questions. Okay, so that is an assignment assigned by one of the teachers, okay, in KG Green. So here the teacher gives instructions first, okay, and then since you cannot see any of the tools, it means your kid is not required to do anything on that page except read the instructions, okay? So you can read the instructions with your kid as well so that you can support him or her. And then here as well, maybe it is showing the kid how the assignment is going to be like. And then when I move on to next, now you can see most of the tools started showing, which means that here the teacher is expecting the student to start working on the assignment. What kind of things can your child do when it comes to Seesaw assignments? They can add a text box, as you can see here, and they can type using the on-screen keyboard if they are using an iPad. They can even record themselves explaining something, okay? And then they can hit start recording, and then they can start recording themselves, okay? And then they have the camera in case they wanted to record like themselves explaining something or take a photo of themselves and add it to the assignment itself. And here you have the 3-dot menu that would enable your kid to have like some extra elements. So they have shapes that they can add. They can change the background. They have links that they can add as well. I believe that they are like too small to or too young to use such a feature, but they do have the voice here and the caption. Down here, you will find annotation tools. The hand feature enables them to select something, okay? So if they click here, they are able to like drag this and move it anywhere. They are able to use some of the other annotation tools like the pencils and the markers that are here, okay, and the highlighter as well. So if your kid is using a device that has a pen or a stylus, so they can easily just like write anywhere. And of course, they can change the colors from like that right side by dragging this to the color they want, and then they can use it here. As I said, if they are already done, they can just like hit next until they move to the last page and then they can click on done. If not, they can just save it as a draft. And then, as I said, you're going to be finding it under in progress. Okay. So, something that you need to know, drafts or assignments that are submitted on Seesaw are visible to the teacher. So, the teacher is even able to see that the student started working on the assignment, but they're not done. And the reason behind this is because the teacher can encourage the student to continue working on the assignment, or maybe like provide feedback and tell the students if they are like going in the right direction or they need to fix something. Okay, so that is when it comes to Seesaw. I will now move to Google Classroom and provide you with some tips. When it comes to Google Classroom, there's something that some parents do not know, which is that just like Seesaw, you're not able as a parent to access Google Classroom using your own email address. So right now, for example, I'm opening my child's account, okay, using my child's email address and password. So some parents email me and say like, I have my child's email, but I cannot access. You need to get the password from your child. So your child needs to provide you with a password. Like worst case scenario, if your child refused to provide you with a password, I can reset the password, but they need to be informed because if they did not know that I'm resetting the password, this can get them to be signed out of the Chromebook, okay, or any device that they're using. So this is something that I wanted to highlight. So again, if you would like to access Google Classroom, you would need your child's email address. Even if you would like to access it using your phone, you can do that. You can download Google Classroom as an app and you can access it using the Google account that belongs to your child. Okay, this is how it is going to look like for parents who are new to Google Classroom joining us for the first time. So you're going to find all the class cards here under home. And if you would like to see what like your child is doing or one of the teacher's classes, I'm going to go to that teacher's class, for example, and see and like make you know how things go in here. When you open Google Classroom, you're going to find three tabs. You're going to find the Stream tab, the Classwork tab, and People. The most important one for you is the Classwork tab. And this is where all of the assignments get posted. So if you would like to see what is assigned for your child, you're not going to see it under the Stream tab. So you're going to see it under the Classwork tab. And of course, all of our teachers have their assignments organized under topics. So you're going to see like here different topics, as you can see in here, and you're going to find the assignments underneath. Okay? So that shows that this is like an icon for an assignment or an icon for a material that your kid does not need to submit. Most of the questions I receive are about Kami, the Kami assignment, and some of like the technical issues that some of the parents face when they open a Kami assignment. I opened a Kami assignment here posted by one of my son's teachers. So if this is a Kami assignment, it is going to be posted here as PDF. So I want to show you how it is going to look like from the student's perspective. If your child opened the Kami assignment, okay, let me just, okay, here it is, okay, and would like to annotate that assignment or edit it. So when they hover over, they are going to be finding that button here in the right, like top right corner that says open with Kami. So they are going to click on open with Kami. That is going to take them to that page. Most of our assignments are assigned on Kami. And let me tell you why. It is because Kami, just like Seesaw, but for primary students, provides them with all the tools they need so that they can express themselves or answer the assignment their way. Some of the students prefer typing using their keyboard, so they're going to find the text box tool here. Some of them would prefer using their stylus. They want to, or they find it easier that they use the pen or any annotation tool so that they can annotate. They can like just write the answer using the pen and show their like thought process. Okay, so that is something that they can do by using the drawing tool in here. Okay, there are some other cool features in Kami as well. You have here the dictionary that can help your kids understand any word by just like highlighting the word, and then the meaning of the word is going to appear on top. They have here the read aloud. If there is a word that they would need to listen to its pronunciation, this can help them do that. And here, which I believe is the most important feature, some of the kids would like to listen to their teacher's instructions, would like to see their teacher giving the instruction, would like to deliver a certain message but their own way. They don't want to deliver it by writing something or writing a certain comment on the side of the assignment. No, they would like to record themselves sharing something with their teachers or telling the teacher how they were able to find out or like reach the end result, for example. That is something that they can do by going to the comment section here. So the comment section enables students to record their voice by using the voice comment. They have the video comment, okay? And they even have the screen capture. So these are all tools that the students can use using their Kami assignment. Next, I'm going to move on to the technical issue that most of the parents complain about when it comes to the Kami assignment. As you can see here, when the assignment gets assigned, the student is supposed to find the turn in button here, this one. What if you cannot find it? What if your child comes to you and tells you, I cannot find the turn in button, and that is why I cannot turn in my assignment. I don't know how to turn it in. So the way to do that, if you cannot find it, so your kid can come here and click on the export button here so that they can export their assignment with their annotations as PDF. So I'm going to click here and then I'm going to go to export. Two other options that I would like to highlight is printing the original assignment, which some parents ask about. My kid has already answered the assignment and it has my kid's annotations, but I would like him to like do some more practice. So I want to print it without the annotations. So you have here the print original that helps you print the teacher's worksheet without the annotations, or you can print it with the annotations. So you got the option, you can choose any of them. And you have the option of downloading the assignment as well. Okay, so if I would click on quickly download, so as you can see here, it says it is like adding all the annotations that the kid has added to the assignment, and now the kid has the assignment downloaded. Okay, so I'm going to move to that page here. This is the kids' files under my files, okay, with the downloaded assignment as PDF. Okay, what's next? What can your kid do afterwards? Like they have now their assignment downloaded and they would like to attach it so that the teacher would be able to evaluate their work. So what they're going to do is, let me just take you back to Google Classroom here. So this is the assignment. Your kid will come back in here. Since they cannot hand it in using the Kami assignment open page itself or Kami's page, so they are going to click on the add or create button here, this one, and they are going to choose file so that they can attach the file from their downloads. So they will click on file and then they will go to upload, browse. It will take them right away to their downloads. I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe it is not shared with you, but it opened my downloads. I'm going to choose the Kami exported file and I'm going to attach it to the assignment here. And after your child finishes attaching that PDF, then they're going to hit hand in. This is another way if your child faced any technical issue when it comes to handing in the Kami assignment itself from the Kami assignments page. I hope that was clear. So let me get back to my presentation so that I see like the points I covered and what we need to cover next. Okay, so we have talked about accessing Seesaw using the Google login, the G button, and not the section that has the email and password. We talked about the classwork tab itself and how you can access Google Classroom as a parent using your child's email address and password. Okay, Next, I'm going to be talking about the Guardian Summary. There is something that you as a parent you're receiving from Google Classroom if you're added as a guardian. And if you do not receive it after I show you how it looks like, email me. And as I said, I'm going to be sharing my email address by the end of this presentation and mention that you're not receiving the Guardian Summary. So what is the Guardian Summary? We have talked about the fact that you can join your kids' class using your child's email address and password. So you're joining as a student. Another way is, and because we add all of the parents as guardians in Google Classroom, so as a guardian, you're supposed to be receiving daily or weekly emails, and you would know whether it is daily or weekly. That very first email that you've received as a parent with the invitation, where you've chosen whether you would like to receive those guardian summaries daily or weekly. So what I'm about to show you right now is an email that I received as a parent. So this is my personal email. It is not my work email. Okay, so here I received that Guardian summary that I receive weekly because this is what I selected when I received the invitation email. So here it shows me a weekly summary for my son. It shows here all of the classes that he's enrolled into, and it shows me the assignments, materials posted. Even if there is a missing assignment, it says missing from last week. I found this on the web for show me a weekly summary. I'm sorry. This is Siri on my phone. Okay, that was funny. And it shows the deadlines as well, what is missing, as you can see from every single class. And if I scroll up here, you will see all the links that belong to all the classes. What does that mean? Does it mean that if I click on any of those links, it will take me directly to Google Classroom where I can see it? As a student, no. It will only take you to the Google Classroom's classwork tab only. So if I would go back to this class, this is exactly what you're going to be seeing as a parent when you receive the Guardian summary in your email. If you click on one of those links, it will just take you to that page, the classwork page. You will not be able to access any other tab in Google Classroom. But I told you about the alternative. You can join Google Classroom as a student using the student's email address and password. So I believe that point is clear. And again, if you have any question, you can ask by the end of the session. Okay, so this is all about the Guardian summary. So as I said, instead of logging in directly using your own personal email, you can receive those summaries. If those summaries are not enough, you can log into your child's account and have full access to Google Classroom. We talked about bringing assignments to life in Seesaw and all of Seesaw's tools that you can find regarding annotation tools, the video ones, the recording, and so on. We even talked about opening PDF in Google Classroom, what you can do when things go wrong with Kami. You can just export it or download the assignment with your child's annotation, and then you go to the same assignment, upload it as PDF. This presentation will be shared with you as well, besides the recording. Okay, two more things that I would like to talk about today are the Chromebooks, Canvas, and cursive tools. The Chromebook itself as a device is amazing because it provides your kids with free tools without like subscribing to third-party apps that they can use to show their their thought process or to brainstorm ideas. If they would like to work on like maths equation, they would like to draw a diagram, how would they be able to do that? So what I would do right now is I would just stop presenting. Okay, and I'm going to be presenting my entire screen so that I show you how you would be able to find these two tools in your child's Chromebook. Okay, so in your child's Chromebook, you will find that taskbar where you find the launcher here. This one is where you can find all of the apps that your kid has in their Chromebooks. So the two tools I'm going to be talking about right now is the Canvas and the cursive. And these are amazing tools that I sometimes feel like they are underestimated. Okay. And I use them all the time, by the way, as a parent. So when you go to the Canvas tool, let me share this tab with you. Okay, so it is loading. This is how it is going to look like. So can you see here what I've done? So here are like my other training sessions when I'm showing people what they can do using the Chromebook Canvas. And here you will see that I'm helping my kid learn using the Chromebook Canvas tool. If he has an Arabic exam, if he has like a certain equation that he does not understand, so I take him over to Canvas. He has it on his Chromebook as well. Sometimes I use mine, and then I write all the questions for him, and then I tell him like, yeah, take the Chromebook, flip it, because as you can see, you can flip the Chromebook. He can use the stylus, and then he can start answering the questions. Okay, so we can revise for like any assessment. He can like have more practice. He can express himself using the Chromebook Canvas. So this is how it works. If you would go to new drawing, your kid is able to write anything using his stylus. Okay, he can even change the colors. Okay, he has different annotation tools, and of course he has the eraser to erase what he has written. So I love this when it comes to students drawing something like working on a certain diagram, like they would like to work on a mind map, for example. Or as I said, like as a parent, I use it by writing all of the questions for my kid using the stylus, and then I leave some space underneath every single one of them for my kid to start answering the questions. Why do I prefer cursive sometimes? If I would like my kid to like write on a straight line instead of just like providing me with an answer that just like starts like straight and then falls over and goes to the bottom of the canvas page itself. So I will be showing you right now, okay, the other tool, which is cursive. Let me stop sharing. Let me get back in here. Okay, and okay, I believe you can see my screen. This one, you can see my screen, right? Just okay, perfect. So here I have the cursive tool. So how is it different, or why do I like it more than Canvas when it comes to like primary students writing a certain paragraph? They would like to write an essay. They would like to have like an organized background with a certain like layout that would enable them to make sure that they write on a straight line. And some parents were asking about a tool that would enable their like young children to improve their handwriting. Okay, so maybe Canvas is not going to help you do so, but cursive can help you do that. Just want to make sure that you can see. Usman, you can see my cursive blank page, right? Okay, perfect. So let me get back to it. Okay, so here when you open cursive from your kid's Chromebook, you will go to the three-dot menu here, and then you will go to change background. It is amazing when it comes to working on math equations, when it comes to adding like certain lines to the student. If the student would like to like draw a graph, this can help you as well. Okay, so you can just like add lines here. So as you can see, like it will make a huge difference. I'm sorry because I'm sitting, I'm not like flipping my Chromebook, so I cannot write well. Okay, so sorry for my handwriting too. Okay, just want to show you how it is different. They even have this tool here. Can you see this? Okay, that would enable them to, at any point, if they would like to leave some space, they can do that. Okay, it is not perfect because I'm not writing right. And they have like different other backgrounds that they can choose from. Okay, so I believe for young children or even like year 6 and 7 students, they would find this really helpful. And I'm quite certain that many of our students do not even know that this tool exists. Most of them know about Canvas, but they do not know how cursive is like way better when it comes to organizing their writing. Okay, so the next part, which is the best part about it, is that once they are done writing, okay, let's say that they decided to write a paragraph or an essay here. Okay, once they are done, they are able to export it as PDF and attach it to their assignment. So they will click on the three dot menu here and they can export it as PDF. This will enable them to go back to Google Classroom's classwork page and attach this PDF as their work, okay, and submit it to their teacher. So this is what I love about Cursive. Okay, so right now, let me just get back to my presentation. I hope that you found these two tools helpful because I find them helpful as a parent myself, and my kid just like uses them all the time. Okay. Next, I'm going to be talking about Screencastify, how they can record themselves explaining something to their teachers, or even like sometimes our kids work on projects on Google Slides, okay, like a slide deck, and they would like to record their screens with the slide deck open, and they would like to show like in a certain bubble that appears on like the right side, left side, like but one of the screen corners. How would they be able to do that? We do have a Screencastify tool in the Chromebook. It is there. They don't need to download anything. They will find it when they go to the launcher. So let me get back to the launcher and show you where you can find it. Okay, so if I would click on the launcher here, I'm going to find Screencast. The screencasting tool is amazing. Okay, so students can actually record their screens just like what you can see in here. So they can start a new screencast, and then this is exactly what is going to show. It is asking students like click anywhere so that you can start recording, and they are going to be showing here in a bubble, as you can see. So then they can start like working on their slide deck and like changing the slides easily and smoothly, and then they can explain exactly what their project is about. Okay, so this is one way. Another way for your students to record themselves and their own screen is using the stylus here at the bottom. Can you see this? They have the screen capture tool that would enable them to take a screenshot, but they can switch to the video tool here so that they can record their screens. So these are the two ways of screencasting. Some of the teachers ask the students to record themselves explaining something or like presenting their projects. So this is the way or how they can do that. Okay, let me get back so that we can move on to the next part of our presentation. Okay, so this is all about the screen castifying. Now we are about to like talk about the two last tools that some of you have been asking for. So what platform can I use to help my kid practice? I want my kid to like my kid is studying about fractions. I would like to have a tool or a platform that is free, but at the same time I would be able to find different exercises, worksheets, videos that would enable my kid to learn more and assess their understanding. So one platform that Quid English School is subscribed to, which I really love as a parent as well, and most of our teachers already use, is Wayground. Okay, that was quizzes before they changed the name. So let me take you to Wayground. This is exactly how the platform is like. Okay, and I would like to share the link with you. Maybe by the end of the session, when I like enable the chat, I'm going to be sharing the link with you so that you can see how you can go to Wayground. But you can easily just type wayground.google, not .google because it is not Google product, wayground.com. Okay, so it will take you to that page. And as a parent, I don't want you to get confused. Forget about all the things that you have on that page. Go right away to that section. Search for any topic. Anything that your kid is learning about, just type it here. They're learning about fractions. Just type fractions. And then here you would be able to choose the year group. Okay, so you can go to grades and then you can just select, let's say, for example, fifth grade. Okay, year 5. you're going to find different lessons and videos. If you scroll down, you have flashcards, passages, all the things that you need. So here you have the same results like on the side as well. So you can decide what you want. If you want certain quizzes where they have like some questions and then they can just test their understanding, you can just select assessments, and only the assessments on the lesson fractions are going to show to you here. You can just hover over any of them, and the questions included in every single one of them is going to show here on the right side. Okay, if you like it and you feel like, yeah, these are similar to the exercises given by the teacher or assigned on Google Classroom, you can just like hit the play button and then your kid can join the quiz right away. Okay, you have your presentations, but I would advise that you just stick to the teacher's presentations and you would just go to assessments to test their understanding. You have your interactive videos, which I really love. It is not just a video. You would have a video with some questions that would help them test their understanding. So as you can see here, if I hovered over this one, okay, so maybe this one doesn't have questions. Let's see. This one has. Can you see this? So here, there's a question. There's another one here, third one, fourth. So basically, your child is watching the video and then it pauses, a question pops up on the screen. They answer the question to test their understanding, and then they move on to the next part of the video. That is something that you might find interesting. I will go back to show you how you can make the best use of passages. So let's say that your kid is writing a descriptive paragraph. Okay, so I'm going back to the home page. The quizzes platform is quite simple, by the way. Like, you don't need to know all of its features. You just need to stick to some of them. So I'm going to type here descriptive paragraph. Let's say that that is the paragraph that they need to start writing. Okay, so they can go to passages and they will find different descriptive paragraphs there with comprehension questions. So it will basically show them how a descriptive paragraph is written. Okay, and they can even like test their understanding and see if they are able to like find like the thesis, be able to find the main ideas, adjectives used, and so on. So you will find different ones in here. Anyone that you decide to use, you can just like, as I said, click on the play button, and then your kid can start reading the passage and then answer the comprehension questions underneath. Okay? Some of the parents love flashcards. Flashcards are amazing. So your kid can just like test their knowledge independently. They will find those cards, they read the question, they just like answer it, and then they click on the card so that they can check it back and see whether they were able to answer it right or not. That is all about the quizzes platform. So I would definitely recommend that if you would like your child to practice, you would go to Wayground right away. Just type the topic itself or the title of the lesson here, and then you will find many different options in front of you when it comes to presentations, flashcards, videos, and so on. So this is the first one. Let me get back to this. Okay. Next one that I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to be sharing two reading platforms. Some parents have asked for reading platforms that would enable their kids to improve their reading fluency and like help with literacy. So one of them is Kutubi. This one is for Arabic. I'll be sharing two, one for Arabic and another that I recommend for English. So the Arabic one is Kutubi. The school is not subscribed to that platform, but they have granted all the kids in the Middle East premium subscription because of the current situation. So they are giving our school 2 months of free subscription. And I would like to take you over to Kutubi platform so that you can see how it works. So I'm sharing this tab. You're going to just like type Kutubi in the address bar, and it is going to take you to that page. As a parent, you're going to go and sign in using your Google account or Microsoft account, according to what account you have. So when you go and sign in using your Google account, for example, okay, I'm signing in right now. The steps are quite simple. Okay, just a second. And here we go. It is going to open that page for you. All you need to do is just add your kids. So you're going to add your kid's name and age. That's it. Like click here, add their first name, last name, username, whether they are like male or female, and then just a password, an easy password that your kid can memorize and use when accessing the platform. This is exactly what you need to do. And then add the account. So this is from your own perspective. What is your kid going to do? So I'm going to sign out and show you from the kid's perspective. So from your child's perspective, so the child is going to be entering the username that you've chosen in the previous step and the password. And then they're going to sign in. The platform is amazing. I was like just checking it before our session, and it has like hundreds of books that are scanned for Middle East. So don't worry about like finding a book that is inappropriate. Like this whole library is just like having books that are amazing. It would help your kids just improve their reading fluency. You have books in Arabic, in English, and in French. I would recommend it for Arabic. I really loved the Arabic books. So you have here, or your kid will find that they have to click on that button here if they would like to assess their reading level first, and then get books recommended to them based on their reading level. That is something that they can do. If they don't want to do that, they want to go to the open library and check all the books that they have there. They can go, they will find different categories, and they can choose, for example, if they are so into technology and space, they can click on that one, choose the book that they would like to read about. Boys love cars. As you know, I have a boy, I know it. So they can just like click on that book. They can decide whether they would like to listen to the book being read to them, they would like to read it and record themselves reading the book, or they would like a certain challenge. Okay, so this is exactly how it works. And of course, while reading the book, they or finishing like some of the books, they get certain rewards like points based on the number of books that they read, the number of like recordings they have of themselves reading the book, and so on. Even like the assessment that they have by the end, or the short quiz that they have by the end of the book. So that is one of the platforms that I really love. And like the fact that they gave us premium subscription is just amazing. And you as a parent, you can use it yourself. It is quite simple. So you can just like let your kid use it as well to improve their reading. Another one is one that you might be familiar with, that most of our teachers use and assign books using it in class on Google Classroom, which is called Read Along. I'm going to add the links to my presentation that we're about to be sharing with you so that you would be able to just click on the link and it takes you over to the platform itself. So this is Read Along. If you would like your kids to read independently, but at the same time have an AI avatar that you can see here, her name is Dia, she's going to be able to listen to your kids reading, and if they mispronounce something, she's able to correct it for them. Okay, so you will find different levels here, okay, and like different categories as well, from level 1 to level 5, I believe, or level 6 to level 6. And then your kids can pick the story they want. As you can see here. So Dia is going to start listening to your kids while reading. As you can see, I'm enabling my microphone. She started listening to me. I have, then based on their reading, they start getting awards, rewards as well, like stars. Okay, so this is exactly how it works. You see, like she stopped because, or she paused because she cannot listen to me like reading the word friend. So you see, she lives in my, and then if they are confused, they don't know how to read it, they can just like click on it, and then she can help them out. Okay, so that that's all about read along. Let me just get back to my okay. So that is all about read along as well. So it is like an AI avatar. Since like we're busy most of the time, maybe you do not like have time to sit next to your kid and help them read. Even when you're not free, they can still read with the help of the AI avatar. So that's all for today's session. I hope that we were able to cover some of the tools that might help you as parents support your kids online. So we talked about like joining a live lesson using Google Meet and how you can just disable distractions by helping them choose the spotlight mode as their layout, how to check your kids' homework using Seesaw or Google Classroom, all of Kami's features, and how to submit assignments when things go wrong. We talk about Seesaw's features as well and annotation tools, recording your voice or recording the kid, like using the camera and explaining something. We even gave you like some platforms to use. We don't want you to get overwhelmed, so you can stick to Wayground for practicing different lessons and different concepts, or read along or Kutubi when it comes to reading. So, and as I said, like, of course, you're the biggest supporter for your kids, but we're always here to help you out during distance learning or even beyond that. So, if there is any problem when it comes to using any of the tools that I've covered or anything related to any academic software, you can reach out to me using my email address, which is Tarek L, okay, at kes.edu.kw. And now, since we have like some parents remaining with us after an hour of demonstration, we can listen to their questions as well, right, Osman?
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Lubna. That was so good and so much information for even myself as the head of primary to digest, because I think the questions I've been getting from parents is how do I best support my son or daughter? And this is a great resource for them. And parents, what I will be doing is I will be sharing this to all parents so they have access, they can watch it at their own leisure. Hopefully it will be beneficial to them as it has been for myself. But at this time, if you have any questions, please either type it in the chat box or raise your hand, and please feel free to ask any questions related to today's presentation. I do believe, Ms. Lubna, there was a question. It said, I think this was for one of the earlier things about KG. Yes.
Exactly, yes. It was sent at like 3:17, so I guess that maybe because I started with Seesaw, so they
Yeah.
thought that it has nothing to do with primary. Yeah.
Ms. Lubna, in regards to kind of, should I read some of the questions from just give me a second. I will get them from the spreadsheet.
Sure.
So if you can answer them, if that's okay. Um, 1 second. Form. So one of the questions was about how do I not print? How do I help my son or daughter not print and convert a PDF into something that I can write on?
Okay, how you can help them not print? Like, do
Yes.
you like to disable the printing option?
Well, no, or if rather than me having to print, is there a way I don't need to print? I can just fill out the form and then submit the work rather than print the form, work on the form, upload it, and then send it.
Okay, so we can work on anything like digitally. So let me just present my entire screen. If there's something that was shared with you by like the class teacher or anyone, okay, and you would like to just like add your signature or like add your kid's name, for example. So if you would download it from the email and then you would find it in files, where's files? Like I'm blind right now. Okay. So if you downloaded any document from files and you wanted to add your signature or you wanted to add something to it and then attach it back to the email or send it over, so you do have the option to do that using the downloads folder itself. So let me just share this tab with you. So just want to open something that I can just like use it to demonstrate. Mm, trying to find something, honestly. So let's say this one. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but still, it would deliver the same message. So let's say that this is like a document shared by Usman, for example, and he wants me as a parent to add like my signature or sign and then send it back. So even from your downloads folder on your child's device, you're able, once you open it, you're able to find here the annotation tool, the drawing tool. Okay, so this would enable you to write anything on the PDF. Okay, one more thing that you can do, you can add your, let me just make it bigger. Where is it? Used to have an option for adding your signature. Okay, maybe it is on any other file, maybe because this is a screenshot. Yes, only on PDFs. When you open a PDF, you're going to find an option for adding a signature. Let me open a PDF so that I can show you how it is different. Here you go. Okay, so forget about what I'm sharing right now again because it is quite irrelevant. But when you open a PDF, you will find here the option next to the part, the drawing tool, you find the signature tool. So you're able to like sign if they are requesting you to sign, for example, whatever. Okay, you can hit done and then you can place it anywhere. So instead of printing, writing something, and then scanning and uploading and so on, this is an easy way to just like add your signature digitally, add whatever you want by just opening the document from your files. There's something else that I would like to show you really quick. Just a second. Okay. Sharing my entire screen. Let's say that you do have like a document that you already printed, but you would like to scan it, okay, and add it back to like a certain assignment or to an email and so on. How you can do that? So your kids have the camera option. I believe that you have all seen them using it, but maybe you do not know that. Osman, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so okay. So I have here, as I said, the camera. Okay. So you do have the option to record a video and to take a photo, and you also have the option to scan. So I can have like a document, for example, like I don't know what this is, okay, but I can just like scan it this way. Okay. And then I hit the scan button. Okay, of course I can just like fix it as you can see here. Okay, it usually does that automatically, by the way. Then I hit done, then I can save it as a photo or PDF. And then I can just easily, I'm not showing you this, just a sec. Okay, I don't know if you were able to see like the previous step or not, but okay, now you can see it, I believe. I was just like scanning this. You have the video, photo, and scanning option. I'll go to the scanning option. I'll just scan it, and then I'll hit scan. So get scanned, I can save it as a photo or as PDF. This makes it easy for me to attach it to an email, attach it to one of the Google Classrooms assignments, and so on. So I believe that this makes it easier for you. I hope that I answered the question as well.